Hello everyone, happy to see you here. Welcome back to my channel Hi Mathematics. Today we have very interesting and I would say like a really great question from entrance examination. We have to raise this expression to the power 10. So we have in our numerator square root of 24. We divide it by square root of 12 minus square root of 6 and we need to raise all this expression to the power 10. So if you have your solution, your notes, your assumptions, you can also write it in the comments below and then we will check our answers. So it will be really interesting. Okay, so right now let's start, for example, on the left side. And let's try to simplify this expression in our parentheses. So let's do it. So as a result, we have our square root of 24. So I just rewrite this expression from the beginning. So square root of 24, we divide it by square root of 12 minus square root of 6, And we raise this to the power 10. Right now, square root of 24 in our numerator, we can write as 6 times 4. Okay, so this is our first step. We can write this as a product square root of 6 times square root of 4. This is our numerator instead of this square root of 24. Right now we divide it by square root of 12. We can write as square root of 6 times square root of 2 and minus this square root of 6. And right now let's look closely. How does this our expression looks like? We have the same square root of 6 and the same square root of 6 in our denominator, so maybe we can factor this square root of 6. But first of all, square root of 4 equal to 2, so we instead of this square root of 6 times square root of 4, we can write as 2 square root of 6. So in our numerator we can write like that, and in our denominator we can factor square root of 6. So let's do it, square root of 6, and in our parentheses we have square root of 2 from here, so square root of 2 minus 1, and we raise all of this to the power 10. And right now, one really interesting moment, because we can easily cancel this square root of 6 because we have the same thing in our numerator and denominator, so we can easily cancel it as a common expression. We have multiplication, so we can easily do this. From here we're going to cancel it, and we're going to cancel it from our denominator. So as a result, our expression looks like that. 2 in our numerator, and in our denominator square root of 2 minus 1, and we raise this to the power 10. Right now, the next step, when we have a fraction and when you raise a fraction to our power, we need to raise our numerator to the power 10, and our denominator to the power 10. So square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10. Okay, so I hope you understand. This is a property. Yeah? Right now, 2 to the power 10, this is our table case. This is our 1024. Everyone knows about it. And we divide it by denominator, square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10. Right now, let's look closely. What do we have? We have our numerator. We have a constant, so everything is great in our numerator because we have a constant, so we cannot simplify this more. But in our denominator, square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10, so we still have this power 10, and we need to simplify it. So right now, let's remember, let's forget a little bit about this numerator, and right now let's rewrite this expression, square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10, and let's simplify it. Let's do this as a next step. So square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10. We need to evaluate it. We need to simplify this expression. And right now I'm going to show you one really interesting method. So right now let's look closely how can we do this. Of course, this is up to you. If you know your method, you can also do it on your own, but I'm going to show you this really great, and I would say like not that hard. So this is a great question, a great method for everyone, for beginners and for intermediate students. Okay, so first of all, let this square root of 2 minus 1 equal to, for example, let's call this as as x. So let square root of 2 minus 1 equal to, for example, x. So from here, we need to find square root of 2 minus 1, that's our x, so we need to find x to the power 10. So then our thing that we need to find is x to the power 10. And we underlined it that this is the main expression, so we need to solve it for x to the power 10. So as a result, just keep in mind that we need to find x to the power 10, but let's evaluate, let's simplify this expression. First of all, let's change position, so let's write x on the left side. So our x equal to square root of 2 minus 1, Right now, let's add 1 to both sides. As a result, we have x plus 1 on the left side, and on the right side we have only square root of 2. Right now, let's raise both sides to the power 2. So let's raise to the second power both sides. On the left side, let's do it. Sorry. So we have x plus 1. We raise to the power 2, and we raise square root of 2 to the power 2. Right here we can easily cancel it real quick because this have a square root sign and this is 2, so we can cancel it. And on the left side we have a basic school formula. This is our formula x squared plus 2x and plus 1 equal to 2. Right now let's continue right here on the right side because I don't have enough space. So let's continue right here. Let's subtract 2 from both sides. So as a result we have x squared plus 2x plus 1 and minus 2 equal to 0. From here we can easily subtract 1 minus 2 quickly. So we have x squared plus 2x and minus 1 equal to 0. And one really important moment, because this is, of course, this is a quadratic equation, and a lot of students might be thinking maybe we can we need to solve it, but we don't need to solve it. We need to evaluate, we need to express x squared. So x squared from here equal to 1 minus 2x. And this is the key expression for us because it helps us to get closer and closer to this x to the power 10. So right now we know x squared, but we need to solve this for x to the power 10. So right now the next step, of course, let's raise both sides to the power 2, and then we will have x to the power 4, and then once more to the power 2 we will have x to the power 8, and we need to find x, we need to solve for x to the power 10. So I hope you understand my thoughts. So the next step is to solve for x to the power 4. Yeah, so let's do it. So we have our expression, so x squared equal to 1 minus 2x. So as I said before, we raise to the power 2 from here and from here. So we raise both sides to the power 2. Right now, what do we have? We have x to the power 4 equal to 1 minus 2 times 2x and times 1 according to school identity, and plus 2x to the power 2. From here, what do we have? X to the power 4 equal to 1 minus 4x and plus 4x squared. And right now one really interesting moment, because a lot of students might be thinking that this is expression that we exactly need, but just imagine when we find x, when we solve it for x to the power 8, when we raise once more without a problem, we can do this on the left side. So we can raise to the power 2, we have x to the power 8. But what about this expression on the right side? We have 3 expressions. So if we raise to the power 2, we have a lot of complicated things. So that's why we need to look closely at this. X squared equal to 1 minus 2x. So but x squared equal to 1 minus 2x. So that's why instead of this x squared, so let's plug in 1 minus 2x. So let's do it. So we have x to the power 4 equal to 1 minus 4x and plus 4 times 1 minus 2x. 1 minus 2x. Okay, so let's simplify it. So we have x to the power 4 equal to 1 minus 4x plus 4 minus 8x. So from here, our x to the power 4 equal to 5 minus 12x. And this is a greater expression for us, a better expression for us, because right here we have 2 expressions. We don't have right here in the previous line we have 3. Right now we have 2 expressions, and it's also really great because the next step we will raise this expression, these both sides, to the power 8. Okay, because we need to get closer and closer to this x to the power 10. So that's why we know x squared. That's why at this moment we know about x to the power 4. And the next step, we're gonna raise this x to the power 4 once more to the power 2, because we need to find x to the power 10. And that's why our next move is to get closer to x to the power 10. So we need to evaluate it for x to the power 8 as a next step. So let's do it. So we have x to the power 4 equal to 5 minus 12x. So that's why we raise this expression to the power 2 from here and from here, according to the same method as we did before. Let's do it. So we have x to the power 8 on the left side what do we have on the right side? 25, or according to basic school identity, we can do this step by step. So we have 5 square, first square, minus 2 times 5 and times 12x, and plus 12x squared. So plus 12x to the power 2. Right now, let's simplify it. Let's do it. So we have x to the power 8 equal to 5 squared 25 minus 2 times 5 10 times 12, we have 120x and plus 144x square. And so we have the same thing as we did before, so we can easily see this right here. So we have 3 variables and we have expression with square, but x square equal to 1 minus 2x. So that's why let's rewrite it that our x square equal to 1 minus 2x. So the same line. So but x square equal to 1 minus 2x. Okay, so let's plug in instead of this x square 1 minus 2x, and it simplifies us a lot because this expression helps us to reduce a power, so we can express second power through the first one because we have a square and we express it through the first power. It helps us a lot, and it simplifies us a lot. So we have x to the power 8 equal to 25 minus 120x, so the same beginning, but right here we write plus 144, and instead of this x square we write 1 minus 2x. We can easily do this because x square equal to this expression from the very beginning of a solution. Yeah, so we have x to the power 8 equal to 25 minus 120x plus 144 and minus 288x. So the last step is to simplify real quick this expression. So from here our x to the power 8 equal to 25 plus 144 equal to 168. Yeah, so we have 169 minus right here we have 408x. Okay, 408x. So really great. These are x to the power 8. So we know everything. We know x to the power 4 from the previous step. Right now we know x to the power 8. But how can we get closer and closer to x to the power 10? Because we need to solve it for x to the power 10. A lot of combinations, but the best one is to multiply x squared times x to the power 8. We know everything. We know x squared from here, this one, and we know x to the power 8. So our last step is to multiply x to the power 2. So x squared times x to the power 8, so equal to x squared 1 minus 2x, so 1 minus 2x. We multiply it by x to the power 8 by this one, 169 minus 408x. Okay, right now let's do it. Let's multiply parentheses by parentheses. So as a result, on the left side, when we multiply it, we have x to the power 10. So exactly the expression that we need to find. And right now let's multiply parentheses by parentheses. So we have 169. So we have a long line minus 408x minus 338x plus 816 x squared. Right now let's simplify real quick our expression in the middle right here, because we have expression with the x. So as a result we have x to the power 10 equal to 169 minus 746x and plus 816x squared, and the same logic as we did before, because in the previous line we had expression with x squared, but we remember that x squared equal to 1 minus 2x, and let's use the same logic right here. So but x squared equal to 1 minus 2x, and right now let's plug in it. We have x to the power 10, so we're going to plug in it right here. Instead of this x squared, we plug in 1 minus 2x. The same logic, the same algorithm as we did before. So x to the power 10 equal to 169 minus 746x plus 816 and times x squared equal to 1 minus 2x. Okay, so let's simplify this expression. So x to the power 10 equal to 169, the same beginning, 746x plus 816 and minus 1632x. Okay, and right now let's add our constant. So we have x to the power 10 equal to 169 plus 816, so 985 minus, right here when we subtract this expression with x, we have 2378. These are x to the power 10. But how can we find a square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10? Right now, let's go back to the beginning. Where do we have that substitution? Extremely important substitution for us. Here you can see it. Where do we have? Yeah, we can see it right here. X equal to square root of 2 minus 1. So right now, let's just keep in mind this x equal to square root of 2 minus 1, and let's do it. Let's remember it right here. So, but x equal to square root of 2 minus 1, and that's why when we plug in, instead of this x square root of 2 minus 1, we have the same beginning, so square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10 from here, yeah, to the power 10, equal to 985 minus 2378, and instead of x we plug in square root of 2 minus 1 instead of this x, so times square root of 2 minus times square root of 2 minus 1. From here, what do we have? Square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10, so the same beginning, minus 1 to the power 10 equal to 985 minus 2378 square root of 2 and plus 2378. And our last step is to add these two constant. So let's do it. So we have square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10 equal to, when we add it, we have 3363 minus 2378 square root of 2. Okay, this is our answer. This is our square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10. But let's remember expression from the beginning, because this is our middle solution, because in the beginning we had our question, and this question looks like that. So let's write it. Let's write it as an answer. So we have our question, square root of 24 from the beginning, over square root of 12 minus square root of 6, and we raise this to the power 10. And as a previous step, we had the 2 to the power 10, so we have something like that, 1024. If you're interested, you can easily scroll this to the beginning, but we had something like that, and we divided by square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10. And right now, in the previous step, we said that we need to evaluate this expression, and right now we know everything. We find this square root of 2 minus 1, so right now we can easily plug in it. So we have 1024, the same numerator, and we divide it by 3363 minus 2378 square root of 2. Okay, this is our answer to this question. So let's analyze this. We have a numerator, we can't simplify this more, and we have the numerator. So that's why we simplify it. We evaluate the square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10, because right now we can easily say, okay, we don't have any powers. We have a regular expression with the first power, so the main thing is the square root of 2. So this is up to you. You can also multiply our numerator and denominator by the conjugate expression. This is up to you. If you're interested in this, you can also do it. You can multiply by 3363 plus 2378, so both sides. Then right here we have difference of squares, but this is up to you. If you're interested in this, if you wanna do it like that, you can also simplify this, but for me this is a final answer. So let's write it. So our answer to this question. So I just rewrite this expression. Yeah, so from here we have our answer. I don't want to rewrite this expression from the beginning, but our answer 1024 over 3363 minus 2378 square root of 2. This is our answer to this question. Of course, you can multiply by conjugate expression, but this is up up to you. I leave it like that because this is a great way how can we write our answer. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Thank you for watching this video. Also write your thoughts. What about this step when we raise square root of 2 minus 1 to the power 10? Maybe you have your way. How do you see this solution? Is also really great to see this solution from your perspective. This is my perspective. I see the solution like that. And I would say thank you for watching. If this video is helpful in any way, I would be extremely grateful and extremely happy, because my main goal is to make math understandable and funny and great for everyone. So if this video is helpful in any way, it's extremely great. And I want to say thank you for being here, for watching my videos. We have more than 600 videos of different math questions, and I will continue my journey on YouTube. So I want to say thank you for everything, for supporting, for your likes, for your dislikes. It's extremely great that we are here and we have a great community. So thank you everyone for your time. Take care of yourself. Have a great day. See you in the next videos.